Well, that was crazy. All right, the rankings are now out there for all the world to see. We have a little bit of a gauge for what the committee thinks of these different programs, but let's get to it. The top 10 is as follows. You got at 10, LSU, 9, USC, 8, Oregon, 7, TCU. The top 6 is where I really want to focus. The first 2 out are Alabama at 6. At number 5, you have Michigan. Michigan fans, I know you are fuming. I know you are upset. I was surprised by this. We're going to get to this in just a second. Number 4, we got Clemson. Number 3, you got Georgia. 2, Ohio State. 1, Tennessee. The first thing I want to say in regards to all of this, just pause for a second, breathe. A lot of ball left to be played. What you see right now, in terms of these rankings, it's going to look different in the coming weeks. So the beautiful part about it, we get to settle a lot of this on the field. The top 10 is going to be what it is. I want to focus on this top 6. Number 6, Alabama. Their best win is against a number 24 ranked, according to the committee, Texas. It's a good win. And if you're an Alabama fan saying, well, why are we behind the Clemson? You know darn well, you threw us out there with Clemson today at our neutral site. We like our odds. That's cool. I love it. I love where your head's at. I have a hard time disagreeing with you with the way that Clemson's played as of late. If you're an Alabama fan, you control your own destiny. You know it. I know it. Guess what? Everybody else in the world knows it too. If an Alabama team has one loss, is an SEC champion, well, guess what? Get those same shoes on that you've had the past few years, the dancing ones. Get ready to roll to the playoff. It's the reality. Still play a number 10 ranked LSU in Death Valley this coming Saturday. So that game in Baton Rouge just became a top 10 matchup. All right, how's that for some juice? Then you got Ole Miss on the schedule as well. They're number 11, according to the committee. So the bottom line for Alabama, handle business. Business will handle itself. You feel me? At number 5, we got Michigan. And like I said, Michigan fans, I know you are just the epitome of disappointed, frustrated, mad, confused, probably a lot of emotions. Like I said, this whole deal will play itself out. The best win, according to the committee, was against a Penn State team that was, at the time, number 10. Right now, they're 15, according to the committee. Good news is you still play a number 16 ranked team, Illinois. And if they keep winning, that's just going to go up. And if you're Michigan, you would ideally like to have a high-ranked Illinois team to beat them, helps your status. What it looks like they were docked for was some of the non-conference games they played. Colorado State, Hawaii, didn't really move the needle that much. But again, like we said with Alabama, Michigan's obviously at this point in time undefeated. If they keep winning, they get to that game against Ohio State undefeated. The winner of that game likely will win the Big Ten, and you're in the playoff. Now, flip that script a little bit. Let's say, and don't get too upset, let's just say worst case scenario hits, right? In that game specifically. Get to that game undefeated, you lose that game against Ohio State. Well, then some things need to happen, right? Maybe you need some help from the Big 12, from the ACC, but you still feel cautiously confident / optimistic that you will get in the dance. But as it pertains to this ranking, there's a little bit of this, early part of the season that they're waiting against you. I'm telling you, just let it happen, let it roll, water off your back. We'll see you next week. Michigan right now at number 5. Clemson's at number 4, and this whole 4-5 switcheroo, what a lot of people had at least, was a little bit surprising, right? Having Clemson as high as they do is what it is. But then you look at how they rank some of their wins, it starts to make a little bit more sense. The committee has Syracuse at, where do they have them at? So they have Syracuse at 20. They were 15 when they played them, according to the AP poll. They have NC State at 22. They have Wake Forest at 21. Those are all ranked wins. So they're weighting those in accordance to what Clemson did on the field. So right now, it makes sense. You and I both know, regardless of these rankings, as a Clemson fan, you know your team has to win out and be the ACC champions, undefeated, to get into the dance. Whether it's right or wrong, that's the perception of the ACC. It's the way the conference is right now. You got to be undefeated to get in. So you're cool with 4, but you understand you take care of business, it's going to be all right. And that's kind of the theme for this first rankings. Take care of business, let business take care of itself. Number 3, we got Georgia. I was a little bit surprised by this, not overwhelmingly surprised. Their best win is over a number 8 Oregon, and that's great. That is phenomenal. Again, number 8 according to the rankings tonight. But Georgia fans understand. What's going to make them their money is that game against Tennessee and then getting to Atlanta. And if you're undefeated in Atlanta, you feel good about your chances playing in the college football playoff, regardless of what happens in that game. Again, I know you want to run the table, you want to win that game. It's down the line. Just leave it at that. Our number 3 this week, if you're frustrated, that's okay. You got a really big-time matchup, a top 3 matchup in Tennessee in Athens this coming Saturday. So take what Kirby Smart said to heart, show up, get loud, and be without the ability to speak the next day. Leave it at that. And number 2, you got Ohio State. Not overwhelmingly surprising. A lot of people had them somewhere between 1 and 2, and a lot of the stuff I saw on Twitter and different predictions. Their best win's Penn State. And again, Penn State, according to this committee, is number 15. Same thing with Michigan. You could really just kind of interchange both of their formats. Get to that game, undefeated against Michigan. If you lose, it is what it is, but you still feel relatively optimistic about making the playoff. Obviously, if you win that game, if you're undefeated, tickets punched, you're good to go. Now, the good folks in Knoxville, Tennessee. I want to say this before I get to that. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you along for the ride. Please and thank you. The good folks in Knoxville, Tennessee, they understand. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. We say it every single week as Tennessee continues to win. As the stakes get higher, the pressure builds. With that pressure comes privilege. Right now, that privilege is the number 1 team in the country, and that is earned. They have 5 ranked wins, 2 of which inside the top 10 in LSU and Alabama by nature of the way that they have aged. So for Tennessee, it's great to be on top right now. It's a very big deal. However, you understand that right now is not going to be what allows you to make the college football playoff. Like, this ranking right now is nice. It's great to put on graphics. It's great for recruiting. But being ranked this way going into week 10 isn't what's going to get you to where you want to go. So continue to handle business. Huge game. Arguably the biggest game in program history, recent history rather, this coming Saturday against Georgia. So handle business, and all will be well. To recap, at number 6, we got Alabama. At number 5, we got Michigan. Scary hours. At number 4, you got Clemson. At number 3, you have Georgia. Controls their own destiny, as pretty much all these teams do. Number 2, you got Ohio State. Number 1, you got Tennessee. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been The Hard Count. Nick Brake does the real heavy lifting, but you can help drive this whole operation by subscribing to the channel. All right, so come back and see us real soon. We go live on Tuesday. We go live on Thursday, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. All right, we're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.